Hey there, it's Garrett here, and welcome to the Sales Funnel Automation Podcast. And I'm your host, Garrett Strong, and this is the first ever episode of the Sales Funnel Automation Podcast. So welcome. I'm glad to have you here. A couple things about this podcast. The reason that I created this podcast is because there's a huge market, there's a huge niche for business owners and marketers who want to create sales funnels that are not only automated, but that are optimized for conversions. And that's a big deal because you can lose a lot of sales in your sales funnel by not having things optimized the way that they should be. One example, I have a site in the welding training niche, and when people go to my sales page and they exit out of the sales page, they don't buy, I have an exit pop that I get half of my sales from. And it's just a $10 off. All they have to do is enter coupon code 10, I think it is, and they get $10 off. I get half my sales from that one exit pop. And that's just one of the things that one of the ways that you can use conversion rate optimization to increase your sales. But conversion rate optimization is only one of the things I'm going to be talking about in this podcast. I'm a direct response copywriter, and so I'm also going to be talking about how to write sales copy that's effective, how to write sales copy that will bring your readers in and sell more of your products and services. So a little background about me and what I've done online and offline for that matter. I started back in 2008. The first I was online and I was searching for a way to make more money so I could invest in silver. I was a silver investor at the time. So I would buy up any kind of coins that I could find, silver bars. The silver market was actually pretty good as an investment back in 2008 at $12.50, I think, an ounce. And the market eventually went up to $50 an ounce, and that was the only investment I've made that has really produced a profit for me. I don't really invest in myself besides my education. I don't invest in stocks or anything like that. But I believe highly in investing in your marketing education because ultimately it's going to pay off down the road. I've worked for several different ad agencies. I've worked as the in-house conversion rate optimizer for a company here in Austin, Texas. It's actually, I don't want to say the name, but it's the leading conversion rate. The leading pay for performance ad agency in Austin. I've also worked for, I will say this one, A4D.com. Jason Akatiff is a super affiliate. I've written for him. So as far as ad agencies, that about does it. I'm not crazy about working for ad agencies, mainly because the ad agencies don't understand direct response marketing, and they don't get it. If you've studied direct response marketing and you go work for an ad agency, you're gonna see that you're really gonna want to hit your head up against the wall about 50 times after you're there for a week, because people just don't get it. They don't understand the persuasive elements of direct response copywriting and why it's so powerful. But nonetheless, they hired me to write their landing pages, and that's what I did. I wrote landing pages, and that was one area that I was free to do what I wanted to because nobody else up there knew how to do it. And so when they hired me, they said, "Hey, we've got we got people in house that are writing these things and they're converting like crap." And some of the conversion rates were just ridiculously just terrible. And so I went in there and I used direct response marketing and direct response copywriting principles, and I helped their clients out and saved them a lot of money too in the process. So let's see where I'm going with that. So in the past, let's see, I've created 2 businesses online. One is in the welding training niche, and the other is my copywriting and marketing consulting site. So I'm passionate about marketing. It's what I love. It's all the books that I read are all about marketing. And so, what I'm going to share with you in this podcast is going to be close to 8 years of just notes and knowledge that I've taken, $30,000 worth of education that I've spent on marketing courses. It adds up quick. I'm sure you probably know. You go buy one of these $2,000 courses or these whatever else. There's a lot of other products out there that are really just crap, to put it nicely. And I'm sure you've been scammed by a lot of that stuff. So what I want you to do right now, if you're really struggling to get going with your marketing and you're at a point right now where you're just kind of at a standstill and you're information overload, just take a week off. Take a week off and put everything aside. That's what I had to do when I eventually got to a point after 6 months of just solid rock hard study of marketing, and I eventually it wasn't paying off and as fast as I wanted it to. I wasn't being very practical at the time, but I ended up giving up. So I started back about 6 months later, luckily, and here I am. But put everything aside and don't spend another dime on another course, and take some time to yourself and let all that stuff sink in and stop overwhelming yourself, because what you need to do is you need to get focused. And one of the ways that if you're having overwhelm right now with marketing, and building your business online, one of the ways to move past it is to create a priority list. So you need to prioritize what's going to make you, what you're going to spend your time doing tasks that some of them are going to make you money and some of them just aren't. And you need to prioritize what's going to make you money and what's going to make you money the fastest, and what's not. What's a waste of your time, and put those things in order. Prioritize and get to work on them. So I would recommend not doing a priority list of 10 or 20 things, just three to five. That way you won't overwhelm yourself. So, today, what I wanted to talk to you about today is the topic of today's podcast is actually storytelling and how to use stories in your marketing. So I'll jump into that in just a second, but I wanted to tell you about a free gift that I'm going to give you. And one of the things that I want to tell you is don't think that this isn't a sell fest. I didn't create this podcast to just sell like some podcasts do. And, I'm going to try to make this as purely, informational as possible. There might be some times if I have, special offers on my own products or free gifts that I want to give you, that I'll just tell you about it right here on the podcast. So, I'll tell you about one right now that I'll give you at the end. So you will get a free gift at the end of this podcast. Just stay with me here, and I'll let you know what it is. So first off, storytelling in your marketing. So to start with, when you write copy, you want to try to make your copy a personal approach. You want to appeal to, you want to gain a person's trust. And the way you gain that trust isn't by talking to that person in a corporate, boring voice and sounding authoritative. And no, you want to sound just like that person. And you want that person to look at you in your marketing and your copy. You want that person to look at you and say, wow, this guy is just like me. He knows exactly what I'm going through. That's the kind of approach that you want. You don't want the approach of just telling people well, I've got, I've made millions of dollars, and I've got 3 mansions in Miami, and I've got a yacht, and that when you're talking like that, you're not relating to anyone. 99.9% of the people out there don't have that. They can't relate to you. So if you want to sell, you need to get down on people's level and relate to them on a personal level and understand them and understand their problem better than they understand it. Because when you understand someone else's problem better than they understand it, you create a closeness that is gonna bring them closer to you. So a good way to do that is to reveal some flaws about yourself in your marketing. And when you're telling a story in your copy, you want to use what's called the hero's journey. And if you go to Google and you type in hero's journey copywriting, you're gonna find a lot of websites that will talk about the hero's journey. And it's a good formula to follow when you're writing your copy, because it's engaging. It tells people your lowest point, and how you came out of that low point, and how you succeeded. So an example of that would be for a client that I wrote for recently at NES Health and NESHealth.com, and it's a bioenergetics company, which I didn't have a clue what it was either, so don't worry. It's like basically it's holistic health, kind of like Chinese medicine. A lot of people say it's woo-woo, but one of the things that I wrote in the sales letter, I wrote a direct mail campaign that went out to practitioners that tried to get them to come to the live event that he was having. And the story that I wrote in the sales letter was a story about how he was bedridden for 7 years. And it's true. It is true, by the way. The story of him and how he tried everything. He tried everything to make his health problem. He suffered from I forget what it was exactly, but it was like where you're tired all the time. I don't know what the name of it, but anyways, he was bedridden. And he searched and tried everything. And finally, he found this doctor that had this specific way of treating health illnesses by using bioenergetics. So basically, you're treating the body, the body's it's called the human body field. But without getting into all that stuff, that's the story that I told. That's the story that I told in the sales letter. And it reveals that he's human. The whole story revealed that he's human, and he's just like when he's talking to these practitioners, he's telling these practitioners, hey, I was bedridden for 7 years, and nothing else worked. But until I found this, that's the kind of thing it's called a hero's journey structure. Go check it out, and use it in your marketing. So, also, when you're making yourself personal, when you want to build that relationship with someone, you want to make your stories personal, like I said before, but include your family stories, include your vacations, stories about your pets and your hobbies, even include some pictures. It makes you seem like a friend. So, would you rather buy something from someone who approached you? They pulled out their wallet and they showed you a picture of his wife and kids, and told you the story about how his wife just survived a terminal illness, and his family struggled. And would you rather buy something from someone like that, or would you rather buy something from someone who just said, buy me, buy me, buy me, buy me? That's what people do when they don't know how to sell, and that is it's so obvious, and it doesn't work. It's a waste of your effort if you're gonna put up a sales page that just says buy me, buy me, buy me. People need to get to know you first, and they need to get to know, and that's why they say when you create an email autoresponder sequence, you don't want to sell right away. You can sell right away if it's a really low item ticket, But you don't want people to come right onto your email list and all you're doing is selling. Sell. Buy this. No, give. What you need to do is you need to give. And when you give enough, you're going to create reciprocity. And when you create that reciprocity with people, they want to give back to you in the form of money. And so a good story that I think is awesome is Claude Hopkins. And if you haven't read any of his stuff, you need to go read it, because he's one of the great marketing minds of, I don't know when he was alive, the 1920s or 30s, but he took Schlitz beer from number 8 in the nation, from number 8 in the U.S. to number 1 in the U.S. simply by telling a story in the ad. And it's pretty incredible the way that he did it, because all of the beer producers in the United States, they all produce their beer practically the same way. They all distilled their bottles. They all used purified air to make sure that the beer was fresh. But Claude Hopkins was the only one to bring attention to the fact that they do that. So he went and he toured the factory, the Schlitz beer factory. He went and toured it, and he took all the notes down that were specific and unique, or they weren't unique to Schlitz beer, because all the beer producers did it. But when he was the only one that said it in the ads, it made it unique. It made people think, wow, this beer is completely, it must be way better than all the other beers because it's fresh. It uses purified air. They triple distill their bottles. Wow. So that's a unique selling proposition. Something that's unique that no one else has. And even if they do have it, if you're saying that your product is unique or it has a benefit to it that no one else is claiming, that's a unique selling proposition in itself. So he did that, and he took Schlitz beer from number 8 to number 1 in just a matter of months. Another client I wrote for was Eddie Bauer Jr., the son of Eddie Bauer, and he had this sunglasses line that he had just created. It's called Six Shades, and I took a note from another copywriter named Jeremy Reeves, and I wrote the about page, and I told the story of these glasses, and the headline was, what if these six shades could talk? And so the story was told from the six shades actually telling the story. And so it went on and talked about, well, if these six shades could talk, they would no doubt tell you about their humble beginnings on the doorstep of Italy's largest sunglasses manufacturing company, or oldest sunglasses manufacturing company. They would tell you about the surfers that loved wearing the sunglasses that didn't slip off their face while they were surfing, that kind of thing. So it was a story, and that is another way to go about writing a story. Is you can write it from that perspective. So let's see. I wrote some notes down. It's my first podcast, so I wanted to make sure I'm covering everything. So, like I said before, you want to appear as human as possible. So, if you are trying to use a corporate tone or corporate voice, stop yourself. Stop yourself, because good copy is copy that's personal. And I tried to beat this in the head of the people that I worked with at the ad agency, but they just didn't get it. They didn't get that. They're more worried about grammar and the things that don't really sell are what matters to them, and it's so backwards. And I tried to tell them what good copy is. Good copy uses it's conversational. It's barstool copy. It's like, imagine that you're sitting next to a friend at a bar, and you're just chatting. That's what your copy needs to be like. It needs to be a conversational sales copy that doesn't try to act like you're better than other people, or you have X amount of letters behind your name, so
you're qualified. That makes you qualified. No, what is going to make you sell your product, your services, is your products and services is a unique and personal approach. So that's going to be it for this podcast. I'm going to have some more stuff prepared next time, and I'm gonna carry this on longer. And I'm in the process of bringing on some guests for some future podcasts, some other marketers and copywriters. So stay tuned for that. And I promised that I was going to give you a gift if you stayed to the end. If you go to my website, Garrett-Strong, that's GARRETT -strong.com/copy. There's a free report there. It's called How to Hire a Copywriter Without Getting Ripped Off. And this is not it's not a sales pitch in disguise in this. It's simply a walkthrough for you, so you know exactly what you need to look for if you are going to hire a copywriter, because there's a lot of unqualified copywriters out there. And if you want proof about that, you can go look on Odesk, and you can see that some of these copywriters that take on jobs that pay $50, those aren't direct response copywriters, because they if you're taking on a job that pays $50, you're not spending your time doing research. You're not doing what it takes to make great copy. Period. Great copy isn't done in an hour. It takes days to write great copy. And so, if you are in the market, or you're going to be in the market, then you need to avoid the pitfalls of hiring a copywriter. So go to Garrett-Strong.com/copy to download the report. And that's it for this episode. And I'll talk to you next time. Thanks. Bye.